But
Well, I said 7th. I did say 7th.
But 7th will get us into playing during pre-season, effectively a Europa League tie.
But Sunday, March 1st, Capital One Cup final at Wembley. We lost 0-2. We have not played an extra game outside of the Prem schedule
Kenny,
since
from now on,
then.
you have to say 2-0. You can't say 0-2. From now on.
We were the designated home team, though, weren't we?
No, it doesn't matter. You still say we lost 2-0.
We lost 2-0.
Yeah,
we
you
lost
can't.
2-0.
You won 2-0, you lost 2-0.
Yeah.
You never lose 0-2.
You never lose 0-2.
You're going to have to...
My point being, assholes.
Kenny, we're here for you.
We got your back, mate. Fish and chips, mushy peas, mate.
Yeah, you don't say chips and fish.
You two are the twitch in my eye. Oh, God. Okay. Point being, we have not played a match outside of the Premier League schedule since then. We have not. Yet we still look like we're playing a midweek game all the time.
That's a good point.
Bingo.
I mean, we look absolutely shattered on the pitch. And the thing that really irks me, and again, this is down to some tactics, I think. We can look great in the first half, or we can look at least neutral with the team that we're playing in the first half, and we're getting outmanaged in the second half because we're not really doing anything dramatically different.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
The other thing that does my head in happened this past week. Yedlin and Lamela came on. I was really excited. The thing I wasn't excited about is that it was the 83rd frigging minute.
Yeah, no, and that's been
disgusting.
He's been consistent in that. I mean, he's given Lamela runouts in times where it's almost impossible for him to be.
Didn't we mention last week
effective.
that we have been the most ineffective team outside of Villa in substitutions?
Yeah.
We have. We have scored 1 goal from making tactical changes.
Harry Kane.
Harry Redknapp.
Harry Redknapp
scored a goal against Aston Villa back in November.
Yeah.
Young Sir Kane. And that's it. And the worst team is Villa.
Look, we're well into the show. The last thing that I have to say is this. 80, I have bantered with you and to the point of argued with you all year long about Pochettino and me saying that he's the man and you having very valid comments that frankly have turned out more right than my defense of him. And I'll say that I am at my most precarious in my year-long or almost year-long or season-long discussion with you about this, and I am nervous. But as I said earlier, a situation like Danny Rose gives me hope. A player that we all were shaking our heads saying, why is he in our squad? Let's sell him. You know, and I don't know whether this is true or not, but, you know, City's rumored to be in for him for $20 million. A lot can change. A lot can change quickly. And I just remain convicted that the best approach for us for the here and now is to continue on with what we've set up and what we're trying to do.
But that would be very Spursy, wouldn't it? Danny Rose, who was slated last season, has the season of his life, and we sent him to City for 20 mil.
He's really been terrific. He's really been terrific.
He's had a couple of dodgy games, but I'll give him credit.
Liverpool was his last, maybe questionable performance.
Right.
He has been this year, without question, the most consistent. He has the greatest collection of solid games, solid 90 minutes of any player we have, and that
defenders don't get a lot of accolades, but he deserves the accolades.
He was almost our biggest offensive threat against Villa, certainly in the first half. So
better than Chadley.
I think Danny Rose should. Maybe that's a title for the show, Kenny. You think of something creative there, but Danny Rose is, in many respects, I think, a source of inspiration. Oh dear God!
Yeah,
it's unbelievable to say.
Dear God, stop.
Okay.
Anything else, fellas? Any other shout-outs for anyone?
No, I'm good. I've got all
Hey,
mine.
we do need to mention...
Got a ledger full.
On the back of last week's pod, and we had a lot of nice comments about our tribute to Sam Williams, our lost member from Dallas Spurs. Yep. There were about 9 of us from Dallas Spurs that went along with... It was a terrible time. FC Dallas, I know you probably didn't have a lot to do with this, and I think it was TV, but who plays a game on a Friday night at 6 p.m. when you know half of the Metroplex cannot make it through rush hour traffic for that? But anyway...
Oh, I was wondering why the pictures were so empty. Why it was so empty.
It was a disaster, but FC Dallas had picked that game, quite rightly so, to pay tribute to Sam Williams, who was also part of the supporters group Dallas Football Elite. So shout out to those guys and a great job that they did in organizing this. And in the 12th minute on the Jumbotrons Toyota Stadium in Frisco, home of FC Dallas, they paid tribute and everyone applauded. We were there, we applauded. We wanted to represent Dallas Spurs as Sam was a member of us as well. And it was a nice tribute. Shame FC Dallas were as pony as the rest of this weekend had gone and lost 4-0 at home to Colorado, who I believe had not even scored a goal this season to that point. But it was a great tribute to Sam. I think, Ken, you had taken a photo and posted it.
Right.
Very, very nice indeed. And a very sad way to end the pod. But, Sam was a great part of Dallas Spurs, and we'll miss him.
When we go over in a couple of weeks, we'll be taking the Sam Williams Memorial Player of the Year trophy with us.
Absolutely. I have mock-up designs. I think they need some tweaks, but we have an award for our Dallas Spurs Player of the Season. It's not Fazio.
Kabul, isn't it?
It's going to be
Kabul got it, yeah.
It might be Danny Rose. I say Danny Rose. That's a great idea, guys. And I want to just big up you guys because, again, I didn't really know Sam, and you guys really did a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job last week in memorializing him, and it was really well done. So, quick shout out to Rob White. Rob, I've been having email problems for my email here. I have the list of people for the barbecue. I think it's pretty manageable now, and now I'm just collecting emails, and I'm going to have that to you soon. I travel tomorrow.
4 of us now? Down to 4?
Yeah, it's our...
Rob and Ken.
I was waiting for us to start selling 100-pound tickets for...
Yeah. It is the party of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
Screw Greaves, he's Hall of Fame ceremony. You guys pay £100 and come play with us.
£100? Revving a bubble, mate.
And I have another shout out. An old childhood friend of mine who I played football with in New Orleans when I spent a few years there. I guess I was in like 7th or 8th grade. My friend Omar Paz, who lives in Belgium now. I think he lives in Belgium. Anyway, I think he's going to be joining us for the whole weekend. So a big shout out for him. He's a childhood friend, and I can't wait to see him and bring him to White Hart Lane. That's all I have. You guys, anything?
I'm done. I'm so done.
Done? Is it time?
I just wanted to say thank you to Martin Cloak and Adam Powley for responding to my question I had last night. So I said to Ken earlier, I've been reading Johnny Come Lately. We Are Tottenham, Voices from White Hart Lane. It's the reprint, and apparently there is a new way of doing publishing. I had ordered that book on a particular day in January, and I'm looking at the book last night to start to read it, and boom, inside the back cover it says, made in the United States in Wilmington, Delaware on 26th of January, which was the day I ordered it. And that is the future of printing if you're a self-publisher, and they responded to my astute observations in looking at the book last night, and yeah, they are self-printing it, so it's a great deal with Amazon, and I guess you can say you've got a one-of-one book if they're individually stamped as to when they are produced. But it's a great book. I'm sure a ton of you out there have read it. If you haven't, go get it off Amazon, and we should be doing a review on that next week. Some very, very interesting insights, and again, the comparisons to Glenn's last season and what we're going through right now, it doesn't seem like a lot has changed. Granted, a lot has happened in the last 10 years. Certainly,
all these years.
And Ken and I were watching the 125-year anniversary. He came over to my house before we went to the game, and you got to have a DVD player that will play the UK DVDs, and I have that. So I said, look, I'm going to whisk you through a few chapters of that DVD, and if you cast your mind back to that year, it was Martignol's last year, but he was really the catalyst to the success we have had since probably 04, 05, 05, 06, until kind of where we are now, whether you agree that's success or not. But it really was down to Martignol. He had to pick up the scraps of what Jacques Santini had or hadn't done. Let's face it, no one is ever going to mark him down as a manager that did anything for us. I'll never forgive him for the disrespect he paid Bill Nicholson the weekend he passed away, as I'm sure many Spurs fans will never forgive him. But Martin Jol was the one that kicked it on. He got us back into Europe, and he laid the blueprints down for what was to occur beyond there. And it was evident in that DVD. I really wanted Ken to see that and kind of fill in the gaps of what's been going on in the last few years. So it's not all doom and gloom and saying, oh, 03, 04, we were at the bottom, and, what's Enoch doing? And here we are now. There's been some good stuff that's happened, and it's put us back where we need to be. But it seems we just can't seem to kick on from beyond that. So be interested to finish the book and give the review next week. So that's all I've got.
Yep. The irony that the shittiest performance of the year for us and our longest show, go figure. I'm going to steal a line from the Spurs poet, Davies' terrific post that he made on Facebook today, and one of the comments that he made was, I want to make a response to those that claim or bitch about, I want my Tottenham back. Well, what does that really mean in the last 15 years? So worthy
15?
listeners. Well, I'm just saying, and since Enoch, go back the last 20 years.
25, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, that's actually you're absolutely right. Fair play, well done. Thank you for correcting me. You're right. 20 plus years. I mean, what does that really mean? And so worthy listeners, think about that. And are we closing? May I?
Yeah, do it.
Hey,
okay.
You said we're the longest one so far, so why end now?
Yeah, I know.
Because our listeners are about to poke their eyes out.
Because I'm flying to New York tomorrow, and I gotta go pack. That's why.
I'm flying out.
I love you both. So glad to be back. Missed you. And to the both of you, to Simon and to Kenny, get in there, son.
And for the rest of you guys, be kind to one another. Unless the other guy's wearing red.
And we know they're wankers.
They are indeed.